Singles and full albums of original music for the Smurfs cartoon series, 1981 to 1989, and the Smurfs movies have been released in different countries and languages, sometimes very successfully, with millions of copies sold. Worldwide, more than 10 million CDs were sold between 2005 and 2007 alone. Music recordings. In general, there have been 3 years in which Smurf music was very popular: the late 1970s, the early 1980s and the mid-1990s and later. The first successful Smurf record was the Smurfs song, originally titled Het Smurfenlied in Dutch, by Dutch singer, writer and producer Pierre Kertner, aka Father Abraham. The single, first released in November 1977, reached the #1 position in 16 countries. While held off the top spot in the UK by You're the One That I Want, the single broke a record for most consecutive weeks at number 2, which was only equaled in 1991 by Right Said Fred's I'm Too Sexy. Kertner subsequently recorded different versions of the song in different languages and he made an album, Father Abraham in Smurfland, which was also a success. As work on a second Smurf album stalled during 1979 due to creative differences between Mr. Kertner and his Dutch record company Direcco, the latter, which owned the music rights to the Smurfs output, decided to take matter into own hands and started producing its own Smurf-related records, produced by music promoter Frans Erklands and composer Barry Corbett, who had a European hit in 1975 with If You Go as half of the duo Barry and Eileen. Together, they produced numerous Smurf albums, some of which coincided with the Hanna-Barbera cartoon series which was produced in the early 1980s. Again, many of these albums were released in different languages. In 1984, the album Best of Friends by the Smurfs, produced for the American market, received a nomination for a Grammy Award for Best Album for Children. The third wave of Smurf mania occurred in the second half of the 1990s, and again it had a Dutch link. This time it was Dutch production team Cat Music who were asked by EMI Music in the Netherlands to produce a Smurf album with Smurfed-up versions of current hits. The first single was a new version of the 2 Unlimited hit No Limit, which went to #1 in the Netherlands in early 1995. Local branches of EMI in Europe requested their own Smurf albums, see below, all produced by Cat Music and mostly sung by local, uncredited, artists. Czech Republic. There are some Smurf records released in Czech Republic. The first releases was released in 1988 and 1989, followed by 1996 to 2000, and again in 2011 and 2012. One of the albums, which was released in 1996, is the best-selling album ever in Czech Republic between 1994 to 2006. Finland. Since 1996, EMI Finland has released a total of 19 Smurf CDs, mostly featuring Smurfy versions of pop hits. The first of them sold 170,000 copies in Finland. One album has sold multi-platinum, one album has sold double platinum, 8 albums have sold platinum, 5 albums have sold gold and 1 single has sold gold. The total of their certified sales exceeds 800,000 copies. Germany. Since the 1970s, many Smurf records have been made in Germany, some of them turning out to be bestsellers. This started with the Father Abraham single Das Lied der Schlumpf and the album Vater Abraham im Land der Schlumpf, both of which went platinum. Apart from many later gold records, the Smurfs again were certificated platinum for the 1981 album Heat Parade der Schlumpf, the 1995 album Techno ist Cool, double platinum, and the 1996 Alles Banane Volume 3, Mega Party Volume 2 and Val der Winter Volume 4. Hungary. From 1996 to 2004, 13 Hapik Torpikek, the Hungarian name for the Smurfs, albums were released. The songs on these albums are covers of popular songs, sang in Hungarian, with lyrics related to the cartoon The Smurfs. Italy. In Italy, most of the Smurfs cartoon anthems were sung by Cristina D'Avena. Japan. In Japan, Silly Little Song of the Smurfs, Sumafu no Chicken na Uda, was the opening theme song to the Japanese dub of the Smurfs television series. It was released on 45 vinyl by Polydor Records in 1981 exclusively in Japan. The song was written by Keisuke Yamakawa, and its music is by composers Pierre Kertner, Corbett, and Lindley. It features vocals by Yoshio Maruyama and Masaki Kobayashi who are credited as blessing for Included on the back of the album were dancing instructions for a special Smurf dance. Netherlands. The success of the Smurfs music in the Netherlands started with the Dutch artist Father Abraham, whose single T Smurfenlied stayed at the #1 position on the Dutch charts for 7 consecutive weeks, and the follow-up single Smurfenbier reached #5. More Smurf records followed in the decades, with Irene Moores as one of the main artists. In 1995, 3 different Smurf albums went platinum, with Smurf the House, Smurfen House Party, and the double platinum Ga Jamie naar Smurfenland. The single No Limit, based on the two Unlimited hit No Limit, also went platinum and topped the Dutch charts for 6 weeks in 1995. Norway. In 1978, actor/comedian Geir Børresen recorded a Norwegian version of Father Abraham's The Smurf Song, which went on to top the Norwegian singles lists for 7 weeks in 1978-79. The accompanying album, I Smurfland, became even more popular, for a long time the best-selling Norwegian album of all time. 270,000 copies sold in Norway, until overtaken by Øyvind Aleksandersen's Levelig in 1984. There were also 2 sequel albums released throughout 1979, and those 3 albums sold a total of 380,000 copies. Poland. Since 1997, 13 Smurf albums called Smurfenhiti were released in Poland. The first album, released in 1997, sold quadruple platinum and 4 others sold platinum. In the first 4 years, during which 9 albums have been released, their sales exceeded 1,160,000 copies. United Kingdom. In the UK, the Smurfs have had 5 top 20 singles. The first was the number 2 The Smurf Song in June 1978, followed by the number 13 and number 19 hits Dippity Day and Christmas in Smurfland in September and December of the same year. 18 years later they scored 2 top 10 hits with I've Got a Little Puppy, number 4, and Your Christmas Wish, number 8, in September and December 1996. Their number 4 hit was unusual in that it used the music of the song I Wanna Be a Hippie by Technohead, the original having lyrics about drug usage and rave music. In terms of albums, they have had 6 top 30 hits. The first, in November 1978, was Father Abraham and Smurfland, which reached number 19. After a wait for 18 years they had 2 top 10s in 1996, The Smurfs Go Pop, July, number 2, and Smurfs Christmas Party, November, number 8. February 1997 saw another number 2 hit, The Smurfs Hits 97, Volume 1, and 7 months later came a number 15, Go Pop. Again. A greatest hits album in April 1998 broke into the top 30 at number 28. The Smurf Dance. The Smurf is a dance that originated with the Hanna-Barbera cartoon. The Smurf is mentioned in The Frug, a song by the band Rilo Kiley. It appeared on both their debut album, The Initial Friend EP, and on the soundtrack to the movie Desert Blue. The Smurf is also mentioned in The New Style and Posse in Effect, songs by the band Beastie Boys on their album License to Ill, in Turn Me Loose as recorded by the collaboration of Eminem and Limp Bizkit, and in the song I'm Through with White Girls written by Jim Diamond and recorded by the band The Dirt Bombs. The rapper Nas referenced the Smurf in the song Made You Look, along with 2 other fad dances, the WAP and the baseball bat. That same Nas line was used in the song 88 by the rap duo The Cool Kids, which is also featured on the video game NBA Live 08. The band Flowbots mentions the Smurf in their song The Effect. Parodies. Comedy band The Barron Knights' 1978 UK number 3 hit single A Taste of Aggro, a medley of parodies, included a version of the Smurf song featuring, in place of the Smurfs, a group of bank robbers from Catford who have escaped from Dartmoor prison. In 1979 the pop impresario Jonathan King scored a minor hit single under the pseudonym Father Abraham and the Smurfs entitled Like a Smurf for Christmas, All Fall Down, a parody of Father Abraham and the Smurfs. The title of the song referred to the hoax story that some Smurfs toys had been painted using lead paint, and that young children had been falling ill from placing them in their mouths. Oasis refused permission for the release of the song Wonder Smurf, a parody of their song Wonderwall.